Where else can you get this and this plus this? Today we're talking all things Canton, Georgia. Of all the suburbs in Metro Atlanta, I have moved the most clients to the Canton area. So today I'm sharing all the things that I'm always telling them about. Hey, my name's Joel. I'm a local realtor here in the Metro Atlanta area. If this is your first time to the channel and you want to learn everything about what it feels like to live here, make sure you hit like, hit subscribe, hit the notifications bell so you can stay up to date on everything there is to know about living around Atlanta. Let's get into it. Canton is located about 45 minutes to an hour north of Atlanta. You'll head up I-75 and then get on 575. Once you get past exit 9 where the outlet shops are, you'll be in Canton. It's a bit more removed, but with access to good roads that will get you to the surrounding communities. You can get to Alpharetta and Roswell pretty easily via 140. Coming is to the east via Highway 20. Could be a 5-minute drive to get there depending on where in Canton you are, but to get to anything worth doing in Cumming is probably 30 to 40 minutes. Cartersville is to the west off of Highway 20 as well, and again, about a 30 to 40 minute drive. And then you have small town America to the north. Waleska and Ball Ground are the direct neighbors. There's not much in Waleska, but downtown Ball Ground is pretty cute. As you keep traveling north, you're gonna hit Jasper, Ellijay, and eventually Blue Ridge. These are all small mountain towns. They all have a nice little city center, some wineries around, some apple orchards, and this is where the Blue Ridge mountain system starts, so there's some great hiking up there as well. Personally, I think the location is great. It's just as easy for me to get to fancy shopping in Alpharetta as it is to get to a winery in the Blue Ridge Mountains. If you need help dialing in the best area for you, go ahead and reach out to me. My information is below in the description. You also see it here, right at the bottom of the screen. I help clients relocate here all the time. Call, text, or email. I'll be able to help you figure out which area will work best for you. Always happy to answer questions or have a conversation. There's a really good mix of the rural and the suburban. I think it's actually a really unique quality of Canton. There's a Target, there's a Walmart, there's shopping, there's great restaurants here. There are really beautiful 5, 6, 700,000 new construction houses going up. But there's also still a lot of farmland with people with cows and horses and miniature horses and alpaca. These two things can and often are right next to each other. You'll drive by and see vast acres of land, and then right next to it is going to be a beautiful neighborhood that just popped up right down the road from a Kroger. All these things are blended in together, so if you were looking for, I just want my space, everybody is 5 acres apart, I don't see anybody, that's not here. If you're looking for the shopping mall every 5 minutes, that's also not here. I think it's actually quite the beautiful mix between that country feel, but there's a Target, a steakhouse, and a world-class hospital right down the road. Canton is not going to be as action-packed as, let's say, an Alpharetta, for example. However, it's being developed more and more and has really come into its own in the last 5 or so years. I always start by talking about the downtown area. Canton's downtown has been known to be pretty sleepy. However, there has been a lot of additions in the past couple of years. There are new restaurants like B&B Social, which is kind of a bar pub style place with video games like a small version of bowling or darts. It's supposed to be a more interactive eating experience. Pops is like a fancy counter service Italian place. You order at the counter and you get your own napkins and silverware. It's actually plasticware, but the food is definitely sit down quality. It's actually a little disorienting because the food is so good. You keep looking around for the waiter to show up and refill your drink. And then there's La Cantina on Main, which is the new Mexican place. I haven't been there yet, but it is definitely on the list. Add to that the established staples like Local on North, Queenie's, downtown kitchen, as well as events like First Fridays, where there's live music and tons of food trucks. Downtown Canton is becoming a rising hotspot. Now, I never talk about downtown Canton without talking about the Mill on Etowah. This is right across the street and has quickly become a local favorite. They turned an old industrial complex into a very cool event space, complete with shops, restaurants. There's always something happening on the green space, whether it's a local band or showing a football game or a community event like a Christmas party or a farmer's market. We also have some good shopping centers. There's Canton Marketplace off exit 19 and then Riverstone Parkway off exit 20. Canton Marketplace has your Target, your Kohl's, your Lowe's, but then across the street is Dick's Sporting Goods, Best Buy, TJ Maxx, Books A Million, Hobby Lobby, Home Goods. Then there's more options on Riverstone like Ross, Michaels, Beal's, Belk, and Home Depot. It's not going to be high-end like the Avalon and Alpharetta or as extensive as the outlet shops in Woodstock, but it's respectable and will get you what you need. Then the one that is probably not on your radar but should be is the Cherokee Aquatic Center. This is off Sixes Road at the southernmost part of Canton, and it's like a miniature water park resort. It's got the indoor pools and stuff, but I'm talking about the water slide splash pad extravaganza that's going on outside. And when I say water slide, I'm talking you need to be 48 inches tall to ride this type of water slide. Super cool lazy river, zero entry pool, splash pad, playground thing. If you've ever been to Great Wolf Lodge, then you know the type of thing that I'm talking about. It's got the tables, the covered patios, concession stands, the bench chairs, umbrellas, the whole 9 yards. If it's even remotely hot outside, you need to take your family to this place.
Technically, I'm homeless.
And then there's the parks. Cherokee County does an excellent job with their parks, both developing them and maintaining them. Cherokee Veterans Park is on the northwest side off Highway 20. This is a big park with lots of green space, walking paths, playground. There's an indoor rec center with pickleball courts and rock climbing. They host big events here, a lot of markets and festivals, things like that. During the holidays, they fill it with Christmas lights, and it's always a great time to drive through. We do it every single year. J.B. Owens is a small park off of Hickory Road, but again, it's well built and it's beautiful. Green space, walking path, playground, and there's also a path that takes you back to a creek with some really cool nature trails. Off of Riverstone Parkway on the north side are what I consider the two best parks, Heritage Park and Etowah River Park. Etowah River Park is amazing. It's also huge, tons of parking, so they have a lot of community events here like Riverfest and the Rocking Wing Festival. All the food vendors come out and serve their chicken wings, everyone votes, and then there will be a full lineup of rock and roll cover bands. I always group Heritage Park with this one because they are connected by a long walking path. If you're looking for something longer than a couple miles, then this is a great option for you. Blankets Creek is on the south side off of Sixes Road. This is a series of mountain bike trails and is well known by bikers in the southeast. If you're into mountain biking, you want to look for a place close by. And then finally, they're developing a new park in the Hickory Flat area close to where East Cherokee meets 140. This looks like a great addition with an amphitheater, rec center, dog park, which Canton desperately needs. It won't be done for another couple of years, but it's going to be a great addition. Obligatory disclaimer that my code of ethics impedes me from speaking about safety as my own opinion. There's a long history of realtors steering folks away from certain towns under the guise of safety. What I will do is cite data from third-party sources, so if something happens, please don't sue me.
I'll get you, and I'll look like a bloody accident.
First, we're looking at safewise.com. Holly Springs is going to be named the #1 safest city in Georgia. Now you're thinking, why are we talking about Holly Springs and what even is that? So, a quick note about Holly Springs and how it relates to Canton. Yes, it is its own city, it has its own mayor. However, it is so incredibly small, and if you look at the boundaries compared with Canton's, we're just going to call it part of Canton. Sorry if you take offense, Holly Springs people, but you're just kind of like Canton's right toe. So while Safewise doesn't name Canton specifically, we're going to give it some of that credit. As for Canton, Neighborhood Scout says Canton has an overall crime rate of 8 per 1,000 residents, making the crime rate here near the average for all cities and towns of all sizes in America. According to our analysis of FBI crime data, your chance of becoming a victim of crime in Canton is 1 in 118. Then we'll throw in Holly Springs for good measure. Neighborhood Scout says if you live in Holly Springs, your chance of becoming a victim of crime in the community is 1 in 276. Additionally, Neighborhood Scout analyzed all cities and towns in America with a similar population size to Holly Springs, and we found that the crime rate in Holly Springs is one of the lowest in the nation for its size. This means Holly Springs is one of the safest places in America in which to live for its size, a very important finding. As always, make sure to do your own research. Schools in Georgia are divided by the county lines, which means schools in Canton will be a part of the Cherokee County school system, which is one of the top 10 school districts in the Atlanta area according to niche.com. Some of the cities will operate a single high school outside of the county school system, like Marietta, Beaufort, and Decatur. So if we take those out of the data, then Cherokee County is top 5. Another disclaimer that I'm going to talk about schools from the perspective of third-party sites. We're looking at a letter grade from niche.com and the rating out of 10 from greatschools.org, as well as the percentile performance and the review rating out of 5 stars. Sequoia is our first high school, and it is located on the south side, close to the Woodstock line. It gets an A- on niche.com and an 8 out of 10 on greatschools.org. It performs in the 76th percentile and gets an overall review of 2.5 out of 5 stars. Cherokee High School is in the northwest area of Canton. It gets a B+ on niche.com and a 6 out of 10 on greatschools.org. It performs in the 49th percentile and gets an overall review of 3.4 out of 5 stars. This school tends to get a bad rap, but a quick note that this usually comes from people who don't have kids that go to this school. I've only heard good things from parents who have kids that actually go to Cherokee, and I think this is reflected in the reviews. Also of note is that they're building an entirely new Cherokee High School, and it's really coming along, set to open fall of 2026. Maybe a fresh environment will turn some of those numbers around. Lastly is Creekview High, located in northeast Canton. It gets an A- on niche.com, an 8 out of 10 on greatschools.org. It performs in the 76th percentile and gets an overall review of 3.4 out of 5 stars. As always, don't take my word as gospel, but rather make sure you know what's most important to you and your family so you can make the best decision. Drop it in the comments. Do you trust rating sites like niche.com or Great Schools? How do you figure out where to send your kids? Median home price in Canton is $527,000 as of this recording, which, as far as Atlanta suburbs go, is about the middle of the road. Cartersville, Dallas, Ackworth would be on the low end, around $350,000 to $400,000. Milton, Alpharetta, Johns Creek will be higher in the 7-8 up to $1.3 million just for a median home price. Most of the homes will be built after 2000. That's really the sweet spot for Canton and when the boom started. Marietta got full, then everyone moved up to Woodstock. Now Canton has been exploding. It will take longer to build through than Woodstock did, simply because it's about 3 times larger in size. If you moved here because you wanted some space and elbow room, that narrative is quickly changing. So either you're in Canton and it's time to move, or you're thinking about Canton and you need to consider further north like Waleska or Ball Ground. I'll highlight a couple neighborhoods as there are some really big ones that will have a lot of options for you. Harmony on the Lakes is in the Hickory Flat area. It will have everything from townhomes to cottages to 5,000 square foot 2 stories. The amenities are great with the whole community centered around Lake Bradshaw. River Green is on the north side of Canton. Again, great amenities. It's got different enclaves to it, and some of them will even have their own clubhouse and pool. Certainly there is a main central pool. It's larger, it has the water slides and everything that you would need. They're also building a 55 plus new construction community extension at the back right now. So if that's something that you're looking for, let me know. Woodmont is in the northeast, right by Creekview High School. Larger homes here, a little bit more expensive, but well worth it. There are some smaller single stories as well. The whole community was built around a golf course and has a great upscale vibe to it. Finally, there's Bridge Mill, perhaps the most popular neighborhood in Canton. This is on the south side off of Sixes Road. Anything and everything you would want. Resort style pool complete with splash pad and water slides, golf course, tennis courts, gym, sand volleyball, you name it. Lots of different housing as well. 1,000 square foot single level cottages all the way up to $1.5 million estate style homes. The best part is the HOA is a la carte, so if you're not into golfing, you can just opt out of that part. It really allows you to dial in exactly what you want all in one community. If you're thinking about buying or selling anywhere in the metro Atlanta area, I would love to help. My information is below in the description. You'll see it here right at the bottom of the screen. Call, text, or email. I'm always happy just to answer questions or have a conversation. One of the biggest advantages is that Canton has Northside Cherokee Hospital located right in the middle of exit 16 and exit 19 off 575. You can take Highway 20 and go south at Canton Marketplace, or take Highway 140 and go north on Northside Cherokee Boulevard. Northside Cherokee is a great hospital. It's part of the Northside family of hospitals around Atlanta. There's Cherokee, Forsyth, Atlanta, Duluth, as well as tons of smaller medical centers scattered everywhere. These hospitals offer great care and service. I have a client friend who is very into holistic healing and sound therapy and very unconventional healthcare, and even he is like, I've been there, that place took great care of me. If you're elderly, maybe you're retiring here, maybe you have a loved one with some medical needs, maybe you just like the peace of mind, this can be a huge benefit to be in proximity of this. Maybe that's important to you, maybe it's not. If this city isn't what you're looking for, or maybe you just want to know what else is out there, check out this playlist right here and I'll walk you through some of the other options. I'll see you in the next one. In America to... Darn it!